In today's episode, we'll be talking about the importance of having separate buying and selling websites. Got to keep them separate. So today we're going to talk about why we even need a buying and selling website at all in these times. And when we come to the conclusion that we definitely still need to have those sites, why do they need to be separate sites? Then we'll go on to discuss why I don't SEO these websites. And I'm going to explain to you what we're using these days instead of the websites to drive most of the business. 99.9% of the business we get is not coming from the websites, but we still got to have them. Stay tuned and learn why. So there's only one reason and one reason only that we even have to have a website anymore. And that reason is for credibility. If you hand someone your card, the first thing they're going to do is Google you or look you up. If your website doesn't show up, you're not a real business. At least that's how they're going to think in their mind. So we need a website for our business or businesses just to become legitimate, to legitimize that we are a business. Because believe me, people are going to go to the internet to search you. So in the creative real estate investing industry, you really need two sites because there's two conversations we have to have. We have to have a conversation with a motivated seller, and then we have to have a conversation with a motivated buyer. The problem is these conversations are completely separate. There's a different emotion that's coming from a motivated seller than the emotion that's coming from a motivated buyer. There's a different set of language. There's a different set of paperwork. Everything's different, and we shouldn't confuse the two. So if we want to talk to someone about them selling us their house, then let's send them to one site where it only talks about them selling their house to us. Keep it compartmentalized. You've taken a lot of time and effort and maybe even some money to get this person to this position. Let's not confuse them. On the other hand, you want to sell your house to someone. You spent money and time trying to get this buyer in front of you. Let's not confuse them with this whole language about how we want to buy a house. I mean, they're not interested in that. They want to buy a home so they can move their family in and live happily ever after. They're not remotely interested in having a conversation about selling anything. So that's the reason why you want to have separate sites. Let's just keep two conversations about two different things separate, period. The reason I don't SEO my buying website or my selling website is because it doesn't make monetary sense. Let me tell you about the time I wanted to SEO my buying site. My site where I tried to attract motivated sellers. Now this is where the rubber meets the road in this business. Because we can talk about everything under the sun. But until someone buys a house, nothing's going to happen. So this is where the beginning of this river starts, is by buying a house. So when you decide to put some money into advertising, that's probably where you need to put it first and foremost. And that's what I wanted to do when I, at one time, dished out a lot of money to get SEO'd up to the top 3. Guess what happened? I got SEO'd and got a top 3 ranking. So when you Googled my buying company's name, I was right there in the top 3. And it was a disaster. I was up there in the top 3, and apparently the people that go to websites to sell their houses don't just call 1 or 2 or 3 people. They call everybody on the first page and the second page because they want to start a bidding war. So I was paying a lot of money for these leads. These motivated sellers were calling me. I was going over to the property, and as I was going in, 5 other investors were walking out. And then when I came out, 5 other investors were walking in. And it was like that all day long. And I had paid to get myself in a huge bidding war with a bunch of avid house buying competitors. And that's not what I wanted. So I stopped. The keywords for buying houses are very expensive because there's a lot of money in this business. So people are paying $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a click, $100 a click, $150 a click for someone who may not even read the first 2 sentences of your campaign or your website or your advertisement. I decided to spend that money someplace else, and that's for a whole nother episode. But what I decided to do was use Facebook and build a community around people who wanted to do business with me. And that's where I started originating a lot of my sellers and my buyers, because I created a community of truthfulness and of transparency and of camaraderie, really. I had a lot of testimonials of happy people who have sold me houses, happy people who have bought houses from me. And there's a lot of questions in there that we answer and a lot of interaction. And we don't whitewash either the selling side or the buying side. If there are harsh questions or harsh comments, we deal with them head up. Because if your sites are whitewashed and everything is only pretty, then people pick up on that and they'll see that your site's not transparent and it's just one big sales job. So make sure that you work really hard not to block or otherwise whitewash your entire buying site or selling site when it comes to that. I use Facebook, again, Facebook business pages, because they're free, they're unlimited, they hold videos. I can train people how to sell me their houses on that. On my other site, I can train people how to buy houses from me. And when they get to me, they're already prepared and know me pretty well, know my company pretty well. They have confidence, and I don't have to explain a whole lot to them. I just need to strike a deal with them. So that's what I do. So again, I want to make sure you understand. I have traditional websites for buying and selling houses. They are separate. They have two different names. They're not remotely even related. And then I really go to buy and sell on Facebook, where I have two separate buying and selling Facebook pages. So it's always separate no matter where it is. Now I'm going to give you a little bonus information, and I'm going to talk to you about an app that you can combine with your websites or your Facebook pages that'll really help you explode. But before we do that, I'd like to invite you over to that like and that share button. And if you would, please like us and share us with your friends so that you can let them all know that we're out here and that we're delivering good content and that you approve. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We would love to have you following along, because I believe you're going to find some real golden nuggets in the episodes to come. Now, about that technology, I told you that you could combine with your websites or your Facebook pages for buying and selling. That technology is LiveComm, LiveComm.com. It's LiveComm as in communications, COMM. Now, the reason why it works so well is LiveComm is a smartphone number lead generation kind of tool. You buy smartphone numbers from LiveComm, and those phone numbers capture any incoming caller's cell phone number and puts it in a text distribution list so that you can use that list later to text for only 2 cents per person in the list. This is a direct hit. Someone's already raised their hand and called your sign from their cell phone. This phone number recognized they're calling from a cell phone, and they've put their phone number in a text distribution list for you to address later. Now, to put this in context, I average 4 days on the market with my houses, and I put no signs up to sell my houses. Not even one in the front yard. I don't have to anymore, because I have 10,000 people in my city that have raised their hand, called one of my signs in the past, and has stated, "I'm interested in seller financing houses. Will you let me know when you have another one available?" So now, every time I have a new house for sale, I just send out a mass text to all those people who have given me permission to text them, and I tell them, "Here's a link to my other house that I have that just came into my inventory. Check it out." So I don't even use signs anymore. LiveComm is a perfect tool to drive people to your Facebook page. I have people that have called on my signs or call my business or want to know about owner financed homes. I get their numbers into this text distribution list, and I invite them to go like and join me at my Facebook page. So I'm always using that same text platform to invite people to sign up at my Facebook page, whether it's buying or selling. On my selling site, I have almost 10,000 people. But what we learned was, at 3,000 people following me on my selling Facebook page, we started achieving 4 days on the market. So it only took 3,000 people. I have 10,000, but at 3,000 people, I was selling my houses as fast as I could let people know that they were available. And everything past $3,000 now, is causing competition for higher down payments. I had already got my days on the market down with just 3,000 people. But the reason why I like to have 10,000 people is because now I'm making people compete for who has the most down payment. I require 10% down, but believe me, I would love to have 20% down from every buyer. It only makes sense. So check out LiveComm, LiveComm.com. Check out the videos on the homepage and watch how I'm using it to achieve great things in my business. Building lists, selling my houses, keeping up with motivated sellers who haven't quite cracked yet. You know, there's a lot of uses. And by the way, LiveComm doesn't just work for the real estate industry. It works for almost any business. And if you're interested in LiveComm and you're not sure how it'll work for your business, why don't you just call me directly and I'll talk to you, because I love to brainstorm how LiveComm can work for any particular business. And I would love to brainstorm with you. If you want to talk to me about your business in LiveComm, call 210-669-4020. That's my direct cell phone number, and I'll talk to you about that. All right, that concludes this episode. I hope you learned a lot from it. And as usual, I'm going to give you something now, and what I'd like to give you is a free ebook from taxfreefuture.com. If you have a retirement plan, or you would like to have a retirement plan, and you would like that plan to be self-directed, tax-deferred, or tax-free, and with checkbook control, you're definitely going to want to talk to taxfreefuture.com. Check it out. There's about 37 little video vignettes that you'll receive if you'll just part ways with your micro information. Micro information means your name, your phone number, and your address, and your email address. Those 4 things will get you to these 37 little video vignettes. And I promise you, this company is not going to beat you up with an endless stream of communications that you don't care about. To get a copy of that free ebook, just go to taxfreefuture.com/free-ebook. And it'll be digitally delivered, and you'll be in business in no time. Have a great day. Thanks for watching the episode, and I'll see you in the next episode.